This field ration package is among the mess Russian soldiers left behind in Nina's backyard. She says a group of them camped out here for weeks when the war began. All these months later, Nina says she doesn't feel the same sense of calm her home once gave her.
I prayed and prayed that my children would survive this. Thank God they had left earlier and I stayed alone, and it was easier for me because I had hope that my children and their families are safe. It was so scary, I can't even describe it. But what can we do other than hope?
Nina says she hid in a nearby bunker along with some of her neighbors. And many people in this village near Chernihiv say they're still processing what they've experienced. No one's come to collect his bullet-ridden car down the street. The driver and passenger were shot dead by Russian soldiers. Their bodies remain where they fell for days. These men say this is where they buried them. One says he can't understand the Russian soldiers and their motivations.
I can't even explain what kind of people they are and the nonsense that they are made to believe about us and about Ukraine. Even now, my hands are trembling just thinking about it.
Not even the dead were spared amid Russia's advance. Residents say the damage to the cemetery was deliberate. It's where many of Anatoly's relatives were buried. Their graves have now been destroyed.
After the shelling, pieces of the fence from the grave flew up, landing in the yard, in the garden. The tombstones for two of my relatives were demolished. Now they're simply gone. There are now only pits in the ground. And even the cross on another relative's grave was cut in half.
Testimonies like these have strengthened popular international support for Ukraine, as well as the West's resolve to help. But Kiev is worried the initial shock of the invasion may be subsiding. Russia seems to be planning to take more Ukrainian territory, according to U.S. intelligence. And Russian President Vladimir Putin says his so-called special military operation in Ukraine hasn't even started in earnest. And at this stage, Moscow is perhaps relying on a global fatigue over the stories that are coming out of here. But the reminders of the grueling nature of this war are everywhere the Russian forces once were. Ukraine is now a country that relies on global support, not only at the front lines, but also in terms of the justice that they seek. With negotiations at a stalemate, President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine will decide its own terms for peace. And the West, which has largely been footing the bill for Ukraine's defense, is facing major economic turmoil, which has sprouted from this war. But even 5 months in, Russia shows no signs of abating its attack on Ukraine. Rahul Radhakrishnan, TRT World, Irpin, Ukraine.